performance for me, it comes down to lots and lots of great things, but the thing I always kind of look for in this day and age where you've got so many people performing, so many people making music, and also the standard of people I think has come up a long way in the last 10 years, you're still looking for that absolute kind of passion. I don't know, it's almost like something behind the eyes that shows that they kind of believe in what they're doing, and it doesn't necessarily, everybody suffers from nerves, so it's not, you don't want a kind of flawless performance. You just want to see that they're kind of passionate about it and they particularly engage with the audience. And you see in these sorts of competitions, you can find a lot of people that kind of sort of stare into space or stare at their feet or stare at their music or their instrument. Whereas you want to, you're there first and foremost, for the love of the music and to entertain people. So if you're not engaging with who you're entertaining, then that can be quite a big sort of stumbling block. Work. I know it's really cliched. I know everybody says it, but it's getting easier and easier and cheaper to make music. So you've got a lot more people competing because of things like YouTube and stuff. Like there's stuff like there to kind of help people learn. So the kind of quality and production is getting better, the technology is getting better, but you'll still find the ones that will stay, stand the test of time are the ones that just kind of keep persevering. So other people will go, oh, it's too competitive. And they'll fall by the wayside, no matter how good they are as producers. So it's the ones that kind of keep thinking, keep taking the knockbacks, learning from them. It's great seeing this competition because I've been doing it for a few years now, and you see the same faces come back, and each year you can tell that they've kind of taken on, the judges' comments and other people's comments, and they've seen other people perform and they've learned from that and grown from it. So, you can see it in action. They're the ones that are going to make it. Kind of like a lot of it was being in the right place at the right time, but saying that, you have to put yourself in the right place at the right time. So we kind of opened a small recording studio, and it was sort of blind optimism to start with, thinking, yeah, we can do this. And then, when it didn't go to plan and when it went horribly wrong several times, it was just, having the kind of wherewithal to pick yourself back up and go, okay, that was a bit of a nightmare, but we'll keep going. We'll still have faith. We'll keep doing what we do, and we'll grow, and we'll learn, and we'll practice, and we won't make the same mistakes again. And really, it kind of came down to that. So there was no easy way of doing it. Even in these competitions, people think, okay, they won, or they got onto X Factor, or they won this competition. It's made it easy for them, but they don't understand the amount of years it takes to kind of get to the level where you can win a competition like this and really kind of shine in front of people. Sent out demo after demo, and at the same time, we didn't rely on just approaching record labels. We put records out ourselves, so we went to kind of pressing plants and pressed up white labels, and we drove around in a little blue Renault 5, literally around the country, like from, we were living on nothing. I think we were eating McDonald's burgers at the time to survive, and we literally, travelled the length and breadth of the country, just dropping 5 or 10 records in the record shops, and then coming back a week later to see if they had sold. So, it was a lot of perseverance, and then, one of those records turned up in the right hands, and we got a very small kind of singles deal off the back of it. And I've still got framed copies of letters that we sent to major record companies that knocked us back, said, you'll never amount to anything. Craig David's, he's not a decent artist, and we're not interested. Bearing in mind that the demos we were sending out had like 7 days and filming in and walking away and rewind, and all these things that went on to be hits. It's hard. Even tracks like that got knocked back, and lots of kind of big players at the time in the record industry just didn't see it. So we kind of, we thought, well, we'll create the buzz ourselves and get white labels and get the DJs and the pirate radio stations playing it, because they were the people that kind of, they kind of created that scene. So it's one of those things. Many years ago, if you speak to the likes of Tom Jones and people like that, they weren't interested in writing their own songs. They didn't, they were performers first and foremost, and singers first and foremost. And there's no reason why you should let not writing your own material hold you back. But at the same time, you still have to bring originality. If you do a straight cover, or if you do a different arrangement of a track but it's already been done, and you don't kind of think outside the box and you make it your own, make the performance your own, you'll fall by the wayside. You can still do a cover of a track, or you can take somebody else's song that they've written maybe specifically for you, or they've just written for somebody else. You can take that and you can make that your song, and you can perform it in the way that only you can perform it. So I think originality is much more important than writing your own material, because not everybody, sometimes it's a problem if you've got a great artist that insists on writing their own songs and they're not a naturally gifted songwriter. You know, they might not be well read enough or not be musically gifted enough to write a great song, and then, you know, inevitably that can hold them back, because they could be an incredible artist, an incredible performer, yet, you know, some people kind of think, you know, you want to be seen as writing your own songs, but there's no shame in not doing that, but, you know, it's the most important thing is giving an original performance. My top tips for getting noticed in the music industry are kind of sort of few and far between, really. It's just absolutely hard work, 100% belief in yourself, passion, commitment. Never be afraid to learn. You know, I still spend loads of time every single day on like YouTube, or kind of learning, you know, still learning my craft, learning the new technology, listening to other singers, listening to other songs. You've just got to just do it 100%, commit to it 100%, get involved and work your backsides off.
Are you ready? I guarantee you'll miss me, 'cause you changed the way you kiss me. Who will be the winner? Open Mic UK. Are you ready? I said, are you ready? This is Open Mic UK.